Close your eyes, and now imagine this. It's 1325. You are not a knight. You are not royalty. You, dear viewer, are a peasant. Congratulations. You don't own much, but you do have a thatched roof over your head, a straw mattress full of lice, and a back that aches like it's 300 years older than you are. Welcome to your bedtime routine in the Middle Ages. Let's take a nap through the seasons, starting with the kindest of them all. Chapter 1. Summer, the buzzing blanket. Ah, summer. The sun sets late, your hands are blistered from 14-hour workdays in the fields, and the air smells like cow dung and hay. You're exhausted, but hey, it's warm. You don't freeze in your sleep? That's something, right? Let's set the scene. You've spent the whole day toiling under a blazing sun. Maybe you're harvesting barley. Maybe you're digging ditches. Maybe you're herding someone else's sheep while wondering what fresh hell will show up in tomorrow's chore list. Your clothes are scratchy. You're sunburnt in patches. You haven't bathed in weeks, possibly months. But who has time for hygiene when the wheat won't reap itself? At dusk, you trudge back to your cottage. It's made of wattle and daub. The walls are basically sticks smeared with a clay and cow poop combo. Inside, it's stifling. There's one window, maybe. It doesn't open. Air circulation is a cruel myth. You sleep on a lumpy straw mattress stuffed into a wooden frame, or maybe just a pile on the floor. The straw is old and musty. It's riddled with bugs. The fleas are relentless. They throw raves in your sheets. Oh, and the buzzing? That's not a lullaby. That's mosquitoes, and they've got a taste for peasant blood. Maybe you try to cover yourself with a linen sheet, if you're fancy. If not, you curl up in your sweat-drenched tunic and pray for a breeze. Spoiler alert, no breeze is coming. Still, the nights are short and tolerable. You fall asleep to the sound of livestock snoring, your brother farting 2 feet away, and your bones creaking like the door of a haunted castle. Occasionally, a drunk bard is playing a lute, or someone is yelling about a stolen chicken. There is no silence. There is only background chaos. Chapter 2. Autumn. The damp descent. Leaves fall, and so does your optimism. Autumn is the long sigh between summer's labor and winter's suffering. It's harvest time, which means you're working just as much, only now everything is damp. Your mattress, damp. Your clothes, also damp. Your roof, leaking slightly, like it's crying for help. You now sleep with more layers, if you're lucky, a woolen tunic that smells like wet dog and desperation. Your blanket is made of coarse, scratchy wool. Think of it like a wearable Brillo pad. The nights are colder. Your breath is just starting to fog in the air, like you're a dragon with low self-esteem. The straw in your mattress is molding. It's turning colors that straw should not turn. You're sharing the bed with your family members, siblings, cousins, a parent or two, maybe a chicken that won't stop squawking. Personal space isn't just a luxury, it's a concept that hasn't been invented yet. Candles are too expensive to waste on reading or journaling. If you're lucky, you own one, and you hoard it like Gollum. Instead, you wind down your day with chores, a bland meal, and staring into the dark, contemplating your aching knees. Maybe you say a prayer, not for peace or prosperity, for socks, warm, dry socks. Your roof drips onto the floor in a steady rhythm, plop, plop. It's the medieval version of a sound machine. Chapter 3. Winter, the great freeze, and snuggle. Here we are. Winter, the main event, the reason your toes have trust issues. It's not cold, it's cruel. This is the kind of cold that doesn't whisper, it bites. It doesn't creep, it slams. Your cottage offers the insulation of a damp sponge. Wind whistles through every crack in the wall. If you hold a candle up near the window, the flame leans like it's trying to escape. There is no central heating, no insulation. Most cottages had a central hearth and no chimney. The smoke from your tiny fire rises and collects under the thatch roof before slowly leaking out, which means you're always slightly smoked like a ham, a cold, miserable ham. Water inside your house freezes, your wooden bucket, ice. Your breath hangs in the air like a ghost. If you wet your hair before bed, you wake up with medieval icicles dangling from your bangs. Now, let's talk sleep strategy. You pile into one bed, or, if you're too poor for that, a straw pile in the corner. You huddle like cold puppies. Family, neighbors, kids, sometimes even animals. No one cares anymore. If it has a pulse and gives off heat, it gets a spot in the cuddle pile. Your nightwear, the same tunic you wore during the day. Maybe you add another wool layer if you're lucky, but wool itches. It itches like it's been cursed. But the alternative is frostbite. Did people die in their sleep from the cold? Yes, especially the elderly and infants. Peasants feared winter more than war. It was an annual siege, and your only defense was body heat and stubbornness. In the worst winters, food ran low. You went to bed hungry, your belly cold from the inside out. Your dreams were full of bread and firelight. Your bedding was made of straw, old sacks, and if you were lucky, coarse blankets. The blankets were often so heavy with age, grime, and patches that they were less comforting and more like weighted punishment. Fun fact, people sometimes kept stones in the fire, then wrapped them in cloth to use as makeshift bed warmers. Yes, bed warmers were rocks that burned you if you weren't careful. Frost formed on the inside of walls. Your nose froze first, then your ears. Your feet were already lost. You could wear 3 layers of wool and still feel like you were sleeping inside a snowman's armpit. Still, the rhythm of survival continues. You fall asleep to the sound of someone coughing, someone mumbling prayers, the wind outside howling like it has unfinished business, and the dying hiss of a log that's trying its best. Somehow, it's not all bleak. There's a strange intimacy to it. You're close to your family, literally. You share warmth, stories, even a few jokes. You wake up with your brother's foot in your face, but also with the smallest shred of hope. You made it through one more night. One more night where the cold didn't win. Chapter 4. Spring, the soggy rebirth. Spring, life returns, so do the smells. The snow melts, everything is wet. The fields are mud, the paths are mud. Your house is essentially mud with a roof. Your mattress is moldy. The straw is composting itself beneath you. There are mushrooms growing in one corner. You name one, Gerald. Gerald the mushroom likes it. You wake up with back pain, allergies, and damp feet. But there's something magical about spring. Morning sunlight peeks through your one grimy window. Flowers are blooming. Birds are singing. One poops directly on your roof. You're still sleeping in a pile of straw, still wrapped in scratchy wool, but there is hope now. You no longer dread waking up. The days grow longer, the air smells less like death and more like manure mixed with possibility. The fleas, still here, But hey, they made it through winter too. Little survivors. You respect that. Outro. Return to modern day. And now open your eyes. Look around. You've got sheets. You've got a memory foam pillow. Your bed doesn't crawl with vermin. You're probably listening to this in warmth and comfort, maybe even with snacks. Your roof doesn't leak. Your mattress isn't made of straw. You didn't go to bed with mud on your face and a chicken on your chest. So, the next time you complain that your blanket isn't soft enough or your mattress is a bit too firm, just remember, you could be a medieval peasant sharing a bed with your uncle and a pig. Sleep well tonight, noble peasant.